watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome to Focus on Germantown. I'm Mayor Mike Palazzolo, and it's my privilege to be your mayor and host. Each month, the focus is on city government, how it provides services, and works with you, our citizens, to make Germantown a great place to live. The theme of today's program is education. With everyone settled in their back-to-school routines, we wanted to take the time to highlight the successes as it pertains to education within our community. This year, something really exciting is coming to Germantown. On November the 4th, the first annual Oktoberfest, benefiting the Germantown Education Foundation, will bring polka and bratwurst and a bit of German to a day of family fun in our city. Here to give us the lowdown is Stephanie Brockway, Executive Director of the Germantown Education Foundation. The schools within our community have a heart for giving. Kate Crowder from the Germantown Municipal School District will join us to talk about how GMSD is rallying behind St. Jude in support of their annual walk-run to end childhood cancer coming up on September 23rd. Kate will be sharing with us other stories about how GMSD students are serving others. We will end the show talking about new schools in Germantown, from our Riverdale school expansion to the new elementary school being built to serve new families and children in our city. Jason, Manuel, and Josh Cathey from the Germantown Municipal Schools will join us with pictures and more. Cue the polka music. Let's talk with Stephanie Brockway about Oktoberfest. Welcome to the show, Stephanie.
Thank you, Mayor.
I'm not excited about this at all.
Tell
us a little bit. Let's get out of the way, just the date, the time, the location, then we'll talk a little bit more about Oktoberfest.
Okay, it's Saturday, November 4th, because you know, Oktoberfest are not about the month of October. It's about German. We are bringing German back to Germantown, and it's going to be from 10 a.m. until 10 p.m. We do have a rain date, which is the next day.
Well, we will hope there will be no rain.
No rain.
We will hope and cross our fingers there.
Yes.
Well, thank you for that little bit of an explanation, because I know with the excitement about Oktoberfest, some people ask me, Mayor, why is it not in October? But really, Oktoberfest are sometimes in the spring and usually start in September. Is
That's
that right?
correct. September, November, and March. That's correct.
Well, and ours will be November 4th. We're very excited. So what is Oktoberfest? Share that with our community.
It is going to be a great festival of fun for families. It is a very family-oriented, driven event. We have incredible things like the Grizzlies are coming, and we have the Grizzlies Bavarian Root Beer Garden for our kiddos. We have an entire Kinderfest set aside just for them with inflatables and rock climbing walls, and GameStop's going to be there. So we have also two of our tournaments are going to be our dodgeball tournaments for adults and kids. It's very exciting.
Well, how appropriate, because this benefits a very special foundation in Germantown. And a little disclaimer, I am on the GEF board.
Right.
Tell us about GEF, how long it's been around, and how this Oktoberfest will help benefit Germantown Education Foundation and our schools.
Germantown Education Foundation has been around about 12 years, and what we do is we give grants back to our teachers and back to our schools, and they apply for them in the spring. And so we're hoping after this huge event that they're going to be able to give lots and lots of money back to our teachers. To date, we've given about $215,000 in the past 2 years, just since last April, actually. So it's really fun. We're going to be excited about giving those teachers and those principals those grants again in the fall.
That's exciting. Now, let's talk a little bit more about Oktoberfest. You highlighted some of the things that are appropriate for school-age children and maybe a little bit older. But Oktoberfest also has to do with eating and having a good time.
That's right.
Tell us a little bit about that part of the festival.
So from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m., we have an adult section, and we have a Bavarian beer garden, and we have a VIP house. And those are going to be specifically set aside for our adults. You have to be 21 and older to come to those things. And in our Bavarian garden, Garden, we do have 3 events in one. So that morning we have the Panera Bread Brunch and Brew, and it's from 10 a.m. until 12:30. And then we have our Pretzeled and Pixelated that afternoon. That's a separate ticketed event. And that's where you can come in, you can have pretzels and bratwurst, and you can watch college football. And then that evening we have the worst party ever. And it's going to be one that's going to be put on the books. It's going to be wonderful. We have our local Dan Tones are going to be playing with us. We all of our tickets do include food, and we do have beer that's going to be available. And in our VIP house, you have a 3-hour beer tasting, so we're very excited about that.
Wow. Now, the worst party ever?
Worst
I'm trying to
party
now,
ever.
that's a play on words,
It
correct?
is, it is.
I have been telling people I'm going to invite you to the worst party in Germantown, and they're like, what? But it is all about food, and there's some contest involved as well?
We do. We have so many fun contests. So we have Mr. and Mrs. Oktoberfest, which is not based on beauty. It's based on your yodeling skills.
I got a shot at that one.
I do feel like you're going to win that one, Mayor.
Thank you.
And then we do have a cornhole tournament that's sponsored by Huey's, and so our Parks and Rec are going to be putting that on. So great, wonderful prizes with that. We have the Best of the Worst contest, which is a brat eating contest, and we also have a homebrew village where people can come and we can have a People's Choice Award for those who have brewed their own beer, and that's going to be very fun. Those are going to be in the same places. And then we also have a 4-beer mile, which is going to be very exciting and fun, hilarious, all the way around. So these are all fun-filled events that we have for family and adults.
Well, we're also partnering with Germantown High School on, you mentioned a 4-beer run. There's also another run as well.
The Home Run 5K, and that's that morning, early that morning, and you can register on our website, which is oktoberfestgermantown.com, and you can scroll down to the bottom and you can register for the 5K, and you can either support Germantown High School or you can support the Oktoberfest. It gives you those options, and it's really bringing in our community, and we're very excited about partnering with them. We are going to announce the winner of that 5K at 10 a.m. on our main stage.
Great. Now, one thing that has me excited, because I had a little bit of some help with some of the planning. Tell us about the chicken dance competition and who all is going to be participating and how this might be fun for people of all ages.
Absolutely. So Chick-fil-A obviously is our sponsor for our chicken dance-off, and so we have brought in mascots. So we have Grizzly, Pouncer, Rocky the Redbird, River Thing. We have the Charity from the Charity Horse Show, and then we have all of our local, our school mascots are going to be there as well. And so it's going to be a dance-off. We're going to see who can win this, and we're going to bring all of our kiddos over. It's going to be amazing and fun.
This might grow into one of the biggest mascot events in history eventually. Well, also let our community know a little bit about, you mentioned some events are free, some are ticketed. There's not registration, but the way to purchase tickets. So go over that a little bit more.
So to come onto the park is free. You get to come on and you get to view all of those fun activities. You get to see and participate in the cornhole tournament. That is a registration. But you can actually watch the main stage where we're going to have a real polka band that's coming in from Chicago. We have live entertainment all day long that people can just come in and enjoy for free. We have food trucks that people can go to and they can buy, or they can go over to the Kinderfest side, and it is ticketed. So it's a wristband to get onto the rides and so forth. But to go into the Bavarian Beer Garden, Root Beer Garden, it's free. So to go into our regular adult Bavarian Beer Garden, it's $30 that morning for your brunch and brew, $15 for lunch, and then $45 that evening, and that includes your dinner and a beer. And then our VIP house, it's $150 to get in, but that gets you on-site parking. It's wonderful things that you have in that, but it also gets you into every event on that day if you're a VIP house sponsor, a VIP house person that wants to come and enjoy that with us. We have lots and lots of great other things, like, for instance, the musical chairs. Principal Toyota. So we have 400 participants that can be a part of this, and the winner wins a new car for the end of the year. I know.
Well, we're out of time, and thank you so much.
Absolutely.
I cannot wait for November 4th for Oktoberfest. It'll be here before you know it.
It will.
I'm really excited about this event and encourage everyone to come out and be part of the fun. We have to take a quick break. Stay with us.
Right, mi cariño. So like I said, everything I learned about cooking, I learned from Grandma's empanadas. Shall we go again?
Yep.
Mix beef with the onions with the peppers with the paprika with the garlic with the oregano with the cumin. Got it?
Got it.
Throw in the olives, stir, season, stir again, pour out the flour, roll out the dough, make a circle, drop in a fistful of filling, fold over, press down, and ta-da!
Most parenting is hard to do in just 2 minutes. But 2 minutes twice a day making sure they brush is easier, and it could help save them from a lifetime of tooth pain.
Looks like it's done.
Don't let salmonella get funky with your chicken. On average, 1 in 6 Americans will get a foodborne illness this year. You can't see these microbes, but they might be there. So learn the right temperature to cook each type of meat. Keep your family safe at foodsafety.gov.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Focus on Germantown. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. This year, the Germantown Municipal School District is proud to support St. Jude by forming a flagship team for the annual Walk Run to End Childhood Cancer. With us today is Kate Crowder from GMSD to share more information about the Walk Run and to talk about some of the other charitable efforts from around the school district. Welcome to the show, Kate.
Thank you for having me.
Well, it's a pleasure. You are such a spunk and full of energy for GMSD. I've been looking forward to this conversation. And it's exciting that our students, our children of our community are getting involved in charitable events. Tell us about how this happened and St. Jude came about.
Well, just to begin with, it's a really big part of our mission statement for our strategic vision plan is to help the students to provide them with service opportunities, service learning, as we like to call it. And we want that to happen at all levels. So from kindergarten all the way through 12th grade. We want to make sure that we're offering them really meaningful ways to engage with the community around them. And St. Jude had reached out to us and asked us to get a little more involved in their walk run this year. And it did sound like a wonderful event. So we have created this flagship team for anyone in the district to sign up, and we're more than happy for them to join us.
That's so cool. Can we tell us a little bit about dates and times and how they can get in touch? And then we'll have a little bit more conversation about the concept.
Sure. So there's a website address that they could go to register, and it's not a high cost to join. I believe it's $10 a student. It's a really kid-friendly event, so they've got lots of vendors and bouncy houses, and the whole thing is really catered to kids, and it takes place on the St. Jude campus, so that's kind of special, I think, for a lot of our students. We do a lot of fundraising for St. Jude, and I'll talk about that in a little bit, but we don't often get to go to the campus, so it's a good opportunity for us.
Well, and so are all 5 of our schools participating, or they have an option to, or is it open to the whole district, I guess?
It's open to the whole district, and we'd like to take a stance where that's really a school-by-school decision, so that's not a top-heavy, we want our school leaders, just like our children, to plug in where they feel like they would like to plug in, or what relates to them most as a school. So Dogwood, for example, they're going with Jump Rope for Heart this year, because that's a really big Dogwood tradition. They raised almost $60,000 last year jump roping to raise money for the American Heart Association, and we don't want to take away from pre-established initiatives. But Houston Middle School is doing a huge push with the St. Jude Walk Run this year, and they've got a whole week focused on the rally for St. Jude. They're wearing their pajamas one day, they're doing online sales and all kinds of fun things to get the kids pumped up about it.
St. Jude's such a jewel for our whole region, and for our school district to embrace that is great. We always talk about our community of excellence and kindness, and this is really one of our value statements in Germantown. Tell us about, there's some other things that some of our students are doing in the district that really have caught my attention, and it's exciting because they're learning about stewardship and giving back and helping others, and I think that is the part of the culture of what we want to promote here. So what else is going on?
Well, we had 2 students, and it just so happened they both sort of operating in a silo are both working for the JDRF, for the Children's Diabetes Research Foundation, and One of them was selected to represent the entire state of Tennessee in the National Children's Conference. So she got to go and appear before Congress in Washington, D.C. and tell them what it's like for her to have diabetes and legislation that might need to be considered, which is really cool and super powerful. She was a young thing, a second grader at Dogwood, and just so small and so full of life. And I love that she's representing Tennessee and that she's from our school district. And then we had another young lady that's a freshman here at Houston High School. She recently wrote a book about her experiences with type 1 diabetes and how that's affected her. And you know, all the proceeds are going to that organization. So that's really neat and special.
Well, and I kind of keep up some ways in that I get all of the school PTO newsletters, and I see Houston Middle School, perhaps they have started just this year, or maybe they've been existing for a couple of years, but they have a service academy type of, and also an honors academy.
Yes.
And so does the high school. So this all kind of blends in with the pattern of being responsible citizens.
It really does. And I think that service really, it really culminates here at Houston High School. Like you said, they have an entire academy geared towards the idea of this service leadership. And something new this year that I was really excited to learn is that they've added a course. So as a freshman, if you are entering that academy, the Leadership Academy, they are now providing a course to help you find that nonprofit that you want to partner with in the city of Memphis, or to find that cause that you're going to be passionate about. And they're hoping that they're going to use that, and then eventually with some of this foundational knowledge, these kids are going to pick like a very personal service project and do great things. And we've got just a huge history of kids making a difference that come from this school. That's
great work. I mean, it really is when you think about it, because it does transcend the community, and it produces lifelong leaders and lifelong learners and people that will cherish giving. And so I think that's really one of the neat parts of our community as well. Well, a lot of people, I know what you do, and a lot of people do, but you're kind of new to my show. Tell people what you do for the district, because I think it's pretty fascinating. You do so much, and you let us know so many things.
Oh my goodness. Yes, so I serve as the communications coordinator for the school district, and that means that I have the privilege, and it's a fabulous job, to kind of be the storyteller of the district. So I get to go out and talk to teachers and students that are doing these amazing things, and then share that information with different audiences, in the city and in the larger city area.
Well, and we recently started something each week called Germantown Up Front, where we put out an e-newsletter, and I know you guys are starting to put, because I've been receiving it, kind of a weekly update and that type thing. Is that fun to put together? I guess you get to go and see what the stories are and write the stories and tell the stories.
I definitely love to interact with the students, and sort of a double bonus for me, I have some high school interns that actually work with me to produce that publication. And so I don't know if you know this, but I taught for 13 years before I took this position in the school system. So teaching students is still very close to my heart, and I love to take what I'm learning and kind of pass it on, and it's really fun to work with them on that publication.
Well, it's so exciting to hear about the giving, the charitableness of our students, and we really appreciate that. Keep up the good work, and tell them thank you on my behalf.
I will do it.
After this short break, we will speak with Jason Manuel and Josh Cathey, also from the Germantown Municipal School District. Back after this.
A full life measured in seats starts with the right ones early on. Car crashes are a leading killer of children 1 to 13. Learn how to prevent deaths and injuries by using the right car seat for your child's age and size.
You are watching Germantown Municipal Television, your source for everything Germantown.
Welcome back to Focus on Germantown. Our city is seeing a boom in new families moving in to be part of our community and attend our award-winning schools. To accommodate that growth, the city and GMSD worked together and expanded Riverdale School. Here to talk about that and show us pictures from the project is GMSD Superintendent Jason Manuel and Chief of Operations Josh Cathey. Welcome to the show, guys.
Thanks for having us. Pleasure to be here.
I cannot say thank you enough for the Riverdale expansion. The evening we had just a few Saturdays ago, the public was open to come and take tours, and then there was a kind of a dinner party thereafter. We had tours of the school, so I just wanted to say thank you to your committee, your staff, and who put that together. We felt very special. It was a great evening. Thank you.
And that was the goal, was because, you know, we always talk about the partnership that we have between the city and the school district. And it was a way for us to say thank you to y'all for all the investment that you put towards education, making our city better.
Well, I had a great evening, and I tell you what, it was one of those ones where you're almost choked up talking about it that evening, because it was the culmination of a lot of work that came together. So tell us about Riverdale and the excitement. You got the best of the old, and now you got the best of the new blended on one campus. So how's it going being open?
So far, so good. We've run into minimal things, and you know, the kids, the first day, just seeing them there in the building, it's legacy stuff. It's stuff that after we're gone, that building will still be serving the citizens of Germantown and their children. And to see that it was, you know, 3 years of a culmination of work between city, between us, stakeholders, all of the work it takes to get there. It's a real true reward to see the building in use right now.
Well, and a lot of people don't know this, because the evening that the party was held and also the tours that day, I understand that there were a lot of alums, because the school opened either in the late 60s, early 70s.
That's right.
My daughter is an alum, but you had a lot of people come back just saying, I want to see my school.
And it's exciting to see the change. Unfortunately, they had been placing portables at Riverdale for 20 plus years, and they got up to 23 portables, including a portable bathroom. And to change that view of it, because they always said people went there in spite of the facilities. Now we can say they're going there because of the facilities and the good education they received. So that was special for the alum. They saw this building going up. They knew the portables were going away, and now they can see, how did we replace portables for actual brick and mortar classroom space? But it's more than that. We talked about what we changed.
The building's outstanding. If you could just hit some highlights on some of the rooms and the room spaces, because I think if you don't go and see it, and I know we're going to be showing pictures during this segment, but it's breathtaking and it's very modern.
Yes, I'll let you go first.
Sure, absolutely. Yeah, in the classroom, some of the things that are special, you have LED lights, the lighting in there. You have natural light coming into every classroom to play with the exterior windows. You have daylight harvesting and dimmers on the lights. You have 21st century classroom furniture where you can put it together for group work, pull it apart for individual work. You have drywall. You know, all of our other buildings have CMU block, aesthetic features, color in the building, all the things that make a school really look nice and make it an environment conducive to learning. Those are some of the special features that I love in the classroom.
And we talk about the fact that, and on the tours, we didn't just build a building, we changed instruction. So Mr. Cathey hit on some of those. The way we design the furniture so that it can be moved and adjusted, and the possibilities are numerable for how you can really teach in that classroom setting. And the fact that it's a one-to-one school now, so that all the students in 6th grade through 8th grade have devices, either a tablet or a laptop, and so that we designed the infrastructure to really handle that volume of bandwidth, but then also it's changing the way the teachers teach. They're more facilitators. They're really working with students on how they're learning different materials so they can learn the right from the wrong and come up with the best solution. It's critical thinking.
For some of us old timers, what did Mr. Carlisle think about the new building? And a lot of people don't know he was our longtime principal there. He was happy?
Yes, and he says on the video, wow, it was one of those things that it just looks good. And we talk about how it doesn't feel like a school. You have glass hallways, so that you're always engaged with the environment outside. It's a sad thing for teachers and students to go to school when it's dark and leave when it's dark. And because they have hallways that are made of glass, they're always engaged with the outside world and experiencing that natural daylight.
Little daydreaming never hurt anyone when they need to take their mind off something.
That's
Sometimes
right.
looking outside is good as well. Well, you know what? I get a lot of questions about what are you going to do with the backyard? Are there plans for that, or?
There are.
Okay.
Yeah, we've already demoed the portables back there.
I took a picture of it and sent it to my daughter. So okay, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah.
Yes, and the plans back there, we're putting back green space because Riverdale lost their green space in the front when we put the new building in. So we're putting in an athletic length green space. We're also putting back an outdoor basketball court and a preschool playground for that school. So those plans are underway in the back. Our goal is to be finished back there by the end of September.
So it's a field that can be used for football, it could be used for soccer. So when he says full-length field, it can be used for numerous sports. It could be rugby, it could be lacrosse. So it's a truly multi-purpose field.
Which is
and
great.
you know, that's a limited resource in the city.
Especially in our city, it's landlocked. You know,
Yes.
land is very, very precious. Well, in the time we have remaining, we have a few minutes here. Let's talk a little bit about the plans for a new K through 5. I know your early enrollment numbers show something that close to 600 more students than we have
That's
actual seats for. So
That's
give
right.
us an
So
update.
we are in the process of designing a new K through 5 elementary school. It's at the corner of Forest Hill and Poplar Pike. It's actually a southern 2 properties next to that, and we are in the design process right now. So we are looking at a school that's going to be built for approximately 690 students, and it's, like I said, K through 5, but it's got those features that make it special. We talk about the brand at Riverdale. We've tried to carry that brand over to this new school. So use of different materials, stones, metals, glass, natural daylight, really engaging with the environment. Special things you'll see in that new school.
Well, and that'll be the expectation because we've set the curve, and I'm very proud of our city, our school district. Riverdale, we just replaced portables and made an investment in our community. Our new building actually will replace modulars, but we're also, again, making an investment in our community. So it's very exciting, and I know you guys are excited about planning it.
Most definitely. And I think what's exciting, too, on the city side of things is we're seeing explosive growth. We have a great product, and people want to move to Germantown, whether it's for safety or for education or the Parks and Rec Department. We are giving them great reasons to come here. And I'm excited about what's going to happen on that southern part of the city once we have this new school, just to see the growth of houses and families. It's an exciting time to live in Germantown.
Well, without a doubt, and we're almost out of time, so again, I just want to express my thanks for Riverdale and the planning for the new school, the proposed new school as well. I hope that you have a great 4th year at GMSD. I know you're off to a great start, so we look forward to even more progress. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'd like to thank all of my guests for being here and thank you for taking the time to focus on Germantown. If you'd like more information about this or any other show on Germantown Municipal Television, please visit www.gmtvonline.org. We'll see you when Focus on Germantown returns next month.